way. It's called stress, especially in a recession. A lot of us are handling a lot of stress a lot of the time. So with us to talk about stress is Frances Largeman-Roth. She's senior editor at Health Magazine, also writes a column for them.
Yes.
And thank you for coming, by the way.
Thank you.
And so first of all, what are the 3 top sources of stress for Americans?
I believe that they are money, work, and then you tell me the third because you have it written down.
Actually, all right. I think it's money, work, and I believe it's family. Is that right?
I think that family is sort of one of those double-edged swords.
Right.
They bring us such joy.
There's joy, but also there's some stress there too.
Exactly.
Just said marriage.
Someone just said marriage. There you go. What do you feel are the most popular ways for Americans to de-stress? And what do people usually do?
Well, people use a lot of different methods, and some of them are beneficial, and some of them actually make your stress worse. So on the positive end, people are using exercise, yoga.
I hear music is a big one.
Meditation, listening to music is another really, big and relatively inexpensive one. People watch TV, they play video games.
Right.
But, sometimes you can OD on that sort of thing. And then to the other extreme, gambling, drinking, drug use, these are all methods that people use to try to alleviate stress.
So what do you think are some methods people don't use that they should be using more?
Well, therapy apparently is used very little, only by, 4% of the population.
Really?
Yeah, and maybe that's because there's still a stigma attached to it. Maybe it's because a lot of people have lost their health insurance, and certainly if you don't have health insurance, it's going to be very expensive to go and see a therapist.
Right, absolutely.
But, you can always talk to a friend, and certainly now there are hundreds and hundreds of websites and chat rooms that, if you need to bend somebody's ear, you can certainly do that. And then there are lots of products, and that's what we're talking about today. Which ones work, which ones don't work, which ones are worth the money.
Right, exactly. Because some, I've gone to these stores and I see these big contraptions for stress reduction, but they can be very expensive. So I know you guys sampled a ton of them and decided which ones were worth it, which ones weren't. So take me through a few of these.
Great. Kim, this is the Stress Eraser.
Stress Eraser.
Turn that on. And it uses biofeedback. You put your finger inside, and it takes your pulse. It also measures your breathing. And so it shows your breathing in waves.
Okay.
And it can tell whether you're taking shallow breaths or very nice deep breaths. And so for people who are prone to panic attacks or that kind of anxiety that keeps you up at night, this might be a good investment. It's $179 though. So you want to make sure that you're actually going to use it.
And how does it actually work? I mean, how will this reduce my stress? I understand that it's sort of calculating my stress, but how am I going to become less stressed from using this stress eraser?
Well, the way that biofeedback works is that it basically monitors something, your breathing or muscle tension.
Right.
And because you can actually see what's going on in your body and sort of respond to what you're seeing, you can actually sync up your heart rate with your breathing. And so, and also it works on a point system. So, and people love a point system, right?
Of course.
So for shallow breaths, you're not going to gain as many points. And so you're basically monitoring yourself. And this is something that you would use. You try to get up to 100 points before bedtime.
I see.
And for our testers who actually used it, for a week or more, they said that it really did help them. So, if you want to make that kind of investment, this could be a great drug-free way to go instead of taking Xanax or something like that.
Certainly better than, getting addicted to something like a drug, Obviously, getting addicted to this doesn't seem like it would do much harm to you.
Right,
so.
Exactly. And it could be a nice part of a bedtime ritual.
Right, exactly. Okay, how about another one?
Going from high-tech to very, very low tech is the Happy
Did you make this?
head trip. I know. It's a craft project.
Right.
And I'll give you a little demo there.
How does it work?
It's not for everyone. Some people love that sensation of kind of getting their head scratched. I think it's kind of a fun thing. I don't know if it would really alleviate your stress so much, but it's $10. so it can't hurt.
Or you can just make it out of, the scraps in your backyard, really.
Right.
So, can actually be free. But, it's familiar to me. I know a lot of people have them. A lot of people love them. So.
Apparently they sell them in malls.
Right. Absolutely. Like, almost in like the little areas in between, not even in a store. They just sort of like sell them on the side. Yeah, the kiosk. Exactly. Okay. And what is this you have here?
This is Homedics, the shiatsu massager, and I'll show you. So with one button, you get the massage. With two presses, you get the massage.
Let's show them this.
Yes.
This is the heat. Okay.
And go ahead and put that on your neck. It's really
on my neck?
best if you are lying down or if you're in sort of a big easy chair.
So these chairs aren't perfect for it, but if I did have a back, I would sort of put them.
Yeah, and
like here?
actually, yeah, that's good. That's good. Get it down.
Oh, I see. Right there.
Right there. And a lot of people do hold tension.
I do. I am definitely one of those people that holds it right there.
Especially if you're working at a laptop, it can really start to work on
right.
the neck. And so it's a great way to relieve it. I think this is about $50-$60, so it's an investment, but
I'm a fan.
Yeah,
I liked
use it daily, at the end of the day.
Right.
The only thing is you cannot adjust it, so it's on or it's off.
I understand. This is Homedics.
Homedics.
Now, one thing I wanted to ask you about, I know you don't have it with you, but I know that there's a stress buster technique that actually, when you wake up in the morning, no matter how much sleep you've gotten, it sort of simulates a sunrise. Can you tell me about that?
This is the Philips wake-up light.
Okay.
And it's an alarm clock, but instead of a big buzzer going off in the morning and kind of jarring you awake, it gradually lights up, so it simulates a sunrise, and it also has wonderful nature sounds, and they're very realistic. The chirping birds really sound like chirping birds,
right.
And so that way it actually increases your serotonin levels in your brain, which is the happy chemical in your brain.
Of course.
And therefore you wake up happy instead of groggy.
And how much money is that?
That one is $170. So again, an investment.
It's an investment, but it's something you put by the side of your bed. You use it every day, and people say it works, right?
People say it works, and it's also very aesthetically pleasing. So an expensive alarm clock, but for happy mornings, it might be worth it.
And is the Philips Wake Up Light?
Philips Wake Up Light.
Fantastic. I think we have a question from the chat room for you.
Oh,
Rick.
Yeah. Viewers want to know where they can get that massage pillow.
They love it.
Oh, this I think is sold at Sharper Image.
Sharper Image.
Sharper Image.
All right.
Sounds good.
All right. So one more question we want to ask you. A lot of people I think are suffering from stress, but don't necessarily know that it's stress causing their symptoms. So what are some, surefire sort of symptoms of stress that people, might want to address?
Okay, well, certainly if, some people don't know how to recognize a panic
exactly.
attack, but it's a shortness of breath. It's a feeling like there's something kind of heavy pressing down on your chest. Some people actually mistake it for a heart attack, and a lot of people actually end up in the emergency room, and it's really just a panic attack. But certainly not to minimize that, but it's something that you really need to get a handle on, get control of, or else it can really ruin your life.
Right. Well, thank you so much. I feel less stressed already.
Oh, good.
Frances Largeman-Roth, you can check out her writing, and she's also senior editor at Health Magazine. And for me, I like the Philips Wake Up Light. Which one do you like the most?
I love that, and I also do like the Stress Eraser. I think it's a really cool tool.
That's very cool. Thank you very much.
Very
Thanks
nice
for coming by.